36 teams enter, only 8 survive. And here's the part that's actually insane. You could go undefeated and still go home early. This summer, MLS and Liga MX are throwing 36 clubs into one shared bracket, and the qualification math is so brutal that even longtime soccer fans are struggling to explain it simply. It's no soccer knowledge required, but stick around for Section 4, because the way this bracket gets rigged, it's not an accident, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. Section 1. What even is the Leagues Cup? Okay, quick reset for anyone who's new here. The Leagues Cup is a soccer tournament that mashes together MLS, that's Major League Soccer in the US and Canada, and Liga MX, the top league in Mexico. 36 teams total, 18 from each league. In theory, it's simple. Best of the US and Canada versus the best of Mexico. A cross-border slugfest to see who's really running North American soccer. In practice, it's a lot messier than that, and messier usually means more entertaining. Section 2, how you even get invited. Here's where a lot of people get confused already. Not every team just shows up. You have to earn your spot. For the MLS side, your ticket to the Leagues Cup comes from last season's MLS Cup Playoffs. The top 9 teams from the Eastern Conference and the top 9 from the Western Conference get in. 18 total. So if you had a rough 2025 season and missed the playoffs, you're not just missing out on an MLS trophy chase. You're missing out on this entire tournament too. All 18 Liga MX teams get in automatically. No qualifying needed. You know the type of team that hates this rule. The ones who finish 10th in their conference by one measly point. That's a brutal way to lose a whole summer. Section 3. The split table setup. This is where the format gets genuinely unusual. Instead of one giant standings table, the tournament splits into 2 separate tables. One for MLS, one for Liga MX. Every team plays 3 games in what's called Phase 1. And here's the twist. Every single one of those games is against a team from the other league. MLS teams only play Liga MX teams. Liga MX teams only play MLS teams. No draws are allowed either. If a game is tied after 90 minutes, it goes straight to penalties. The winner gets 2 points. The loser still gets 1. This sounds simple. It isn't, because it means every match matters double. You're not just trying to win, you're trying to avoid draws going to shootouts you might lose, because even a shootout loss barely helps you. Section 4. The race for the top 4. Here's the actual qualification race everyone's obsessing over. After those 3 group games, only the top 4 teams from the MLS table and the top 4 teams from the Liga MX table move on. That's it. 8 teams out of 36 survive to the knockout rounds. 3 games. That's your whole resume. Win big, lose your grip, and you could be done for the summer before September even starts. This is where the insanity lives. A team can play well in Game 1, stumble in Game 2, and suddenly needs a miracle result in Game 3 just to sneak into that top 4. In a league season, one bad week gets buried under 30 other games. Here, one bad week could be the whole story. Section 5. The knockout bracket. Nobody expects. Once the top 4 from each table are set, things get fixed in place immediately. The quarterfinal matchups are locked based on how teams finished Phase 1. Best MLS team faces the 4th place Liga MX team. Second best MLS team faces 3rd place Liga MX. And so on, crisscrossing all the way through. Here's the fun part. Because of how the bracket is built, no 2 teams from the same league can face each other until the semifinals. Every single quarterfinal is guaranteed to be a Mexico versus USA and Canada showdown. That's not an accident. That's the entire appeal of this tournament, being protected by design. Section 6. Why the finish line matters so much. Now here's the actual prize everyone's fighting for, and it's bigger than just a trophy. The top 3 finishers in the Leagues Cup, the champion, the runner-up, and whoever wins 3rd place, all qualify for the 2027 Concacaf Champions Cup. That's the Continental Club Championship for this part of the world, and the champion gets an extra bonus, a direct bye straight into the round of 16 of that competition, skipping the early rounds entirely. So this isn't just bragging rights between 2 countries anymore. Teams are fighting for a real continental spot. A short summer tournament suddenly has playoff-level stakes attached to it. Section 7. Why this format is so unforgiving. Let's zoom out for a second, because this is really the whole point. Most tournaments give you room to breathe. A long season, a group stage with 4 or 5 games, some cushion for a bad night. The League's Cup gives you 3 games and then slams the door. 18 teams from each league enter, and only 4 survive from each side. That means over half the field is eliminated before the real knockout drama even begins. No extra chances, no wild card, no second life. Here's where it gets interesting, though. That brutality is exactly why fans love it. Every group stage game feels like a knockout game already, because in a very real sense, it basically is one ending. So let's go back to where we started. One bad week really can end your season, even before the actual knockout rounds begin. That's not an exaggeration. That's literally how this tournament is built. 36 teams, 3 group games each. Only 8 survive. Everything gets decided fast, and almost nothing gets forgiven. If you had to guess right now, would a Liga MX team or an MLS team be the one to lift the trophy this year? Drop your prediction in the comments, because I'm genuinely curious who you're backing. And if you want more breakdowns like this that actually make sports tournaments make sense, go ahead and subscribe. I'm putting these out regularly, and you don't want to miss the next one.